When we envision the future, sometimes we automatically start thinking of solutions that have a certain flavor. Like we always think about product solutions, or we always think about channel solutions, or we always think about people. Who do we hire that knows something about 3D printing, right? You give a child a hammer, everything looks like a nail. We all fall victim to this. We tend to return to the same areas of our business model because we're familiar with them. You know? So this is what Dissect is really about. Before we go into ideation, it's helpful to think strategically, expansively about the different areas of the business model. When companies start firing on multiple areas of the business model, then beautiful things happen. I'll probably come back to this slide, but you can take a photo or think of this. The 8 Ps. Again, all models are wrong. Some are useful. I'm not saying there's only 8. In fact, I think there might be a 9th. But it's a helpful framework. Positioning. We zoom out to the future. Could we find a new way of serving a different type of customer or adjusting our brand attributes? If you took your challenge to a branding agency, do we have any branding agencies here? Any branding agencies? Okay, so take it to a branding agency. What do they look at? They look at a brand strategy, right? Great way to think about, the future, about securing the future. Products and services, certainly. What we sell, specifically the attribute map that you guys use, looking at what do we want to over-deliver on, what do we under-deliver on, given the customer that we serve, what are their stack rank of attributes, and how do we over-deliver and under-deliver. That is a great way to approach securing the future. But we can also look at channels. We're finding, as we're studying the breakthroughs of companies, often channels, and this is becoming more important, opening up new channels to customers. We're fishing over here in this pond, and we got this great pumpkin, this great thing, but actually there's a pond over there that's got a lot more fish. So where do we want to fish? Pricing, I think, is super exciting. We often overlook it. We often default to pricing the way that we price. We price per hour because everyone prices per hour. But thinking about who pays, what they pay, what their basis of pricing is, and just think about basis of pricing. You could say, all Netflix did was decide they were going to price per month instead of per rental. But that created a whole streaming industry, right? That choice is a big choice. And then when they pay, your customer is more or less price sensitive at different times on their journey. And if you can have them pay when they are less price sensitive, you can charge more. This is why investment bankers make so much money compared to the lawyers and accountants that are working on your M&A deal, because they get paid when you get the money, right? You're less price sensitive. So who, what, and when. Promotion is your marketing and sales strategy. How we get people aware, how to consider, how to choose, and what are your tactics around the funnel. And I think that your customer acquisition cost is maybe the most important metric to determine the scalability of your business. If you can just be a little bit cheaper in terms of your ability to recruit customers, it creates an exponential advantage. We can talk more about that. But what if we get to the future that we want? What if we get to our 3-hack through innovations in promotion? What about the physical experience? Tiffany talked yesterday about the employee experience. We know the user experience. There's the everyone experience. What people see, smell, hear, taste, touch when they interact with a product or service is often overlooked. You could say that's one of what Apple was focused on that for years, right, when their competitors were not. Do you know when you open up an Apple product, it has a suction usually? That's not coincidence, right? They designed the package to create the right level of suction to give you a physical experience, right? Processes, how you're going to execute it. What are your core processes and how do you get more efficient at it? And then supporting all of that, your people. Who you recruit. How we organize. How do we incentivize? What are our cultural values? Each of these are like a door that we could explore to find 4th options. However, because humans can only remember 7 plus or minus 2 things at once, and we're thinking about other things, we have fewer doors that we think of. We tend to walk through the same door and wonder, why do I keep seeing the same things? Why do I keep coming up with the same things? Right? There's this other door here that we could explore. So I want you to now think and write down for yourself, what is a P, given that future that you've thought of, what is a P that maybe we don't spend a lot of time thinking about? And what is the P that is the obvious one for you to focus on this year?